What's up everyone, and welcome back to Top 5 Central. Today we're looking at the top 5 scariest YouTuber videos of all time. Now this is actually a part 2 to a video we made back in October where we showcase some of the scarier moments in your favorite YouTuber videos that potentially puts them in real danger. Now let's see if we can smash 5,000 likes on this video. Part 1 to this video has over 30,000 likes, so I know we could break this like goal. Anyways, with that said, let's get right into it. Number 5. One of the risks of exploring abandoned places is that someone else might have gotten there first. Now normally it's just homeless people seeking shelter, and though they probably want to be left alone, they're just like anyone else and don't pose a threat. For these guys exploring a deserted parking lot though, their experience bumping into someone was a lot more hostile than you might expect. One of the guys says he hears someone shouting at him, but his friends don't believe it. That's when the video begins, just as he takes them back down the stairs to prove it. You see like this yellow sleeping bag or a blanket on the floor, so the guys shine their torches around the corner and immediately there's a reaction. You never see if anyone's there, but you don't need to, as whoever it is starts growling and shouting at the group. The man sounds more like an animal than a human, and the three guys run for their lives, dropping the camera as they make it out into the light. Now whether he was on drugs or just trying to scare the guys away from his stuff is unclear, but either way it's undeniably scary.
Tu kurwa nikogo nie ma, debil zajebany. Jak tu nie znam? Kurwa!
Number 4. Jack Tenney has done everything from insane cliff diving to sneaking into abandoned haunted houses, so he's no stranger to scary situations. But his close call in Hawaii is probably one adventure he doesn't want to repeat. He was exploring a volcano with a group of fellow vloggers when it started to rain, and since they were on flat ground, they were the only target for lightning that was fast approaching. It got potentially deadly very quickly. So not only did he and 2 of his friends get separated from the main group, but they also had to hide in a tiny cave that acted as a steam vent, so there was a massive risk of getting burned. Thankfully that didn't happen, but they had to make a break for it across the exposed land with the thunder all around and basically on top of them. I mean, like seriously, they were almost stranded given how quickly it got dark. To top it off, Jack's biggest fear is lightning, so I can only imagine how he must have felt with it striking literally 2 inches from where he stood. Next time he wants to go traveling, he might want to stick to like Disneyland or something.
I think Jack's winning!
Look at all the fog up there, guys. So crazy.
Number 3. Caving is a dangerous hobby. I mean, even if you're a trained professional, things can still go wrong, but even the most experienced caver in the world would not have seen this coming. Things are already kind of risky. Josh and his friend venture into a cave with a temperature of 30 degrees and just a t-shirt and no lanterns. And then they go way further down a tunnel that they probably shouldn't have. It literally comes to the point where they are crawling and barely can fit. After squeezing through a tiny tunnel, the cave opens up and the 2 guys get a surprise. It's a good job they decided to explore, as while they're down there, a girl shows up from nowhere, who had managed to climb all the way down by herself with no light or equipment. The kid is clearly terrified. She's been separated from her parents and doesn't speak any English at all. Now eventually she hears her family calling and is reunited with them, but man, that would have been really bad. I think the scariest thing isn't the shock of her appearing out of thin air, but the thought of what could have happened if Josh and his friends hadn't stumbled across her sooner.
Do you see those, the couple that was back there?
You wanna come
Can you
with
tell
us?
them their daughter's up here and she's scared?
They don't speak. She doesn't speak
She doesn't
English.
speak
They don't
English.
speak English.
It's okay.
It's alright. This is the way back.
What an experience! As we were about to leave, this little girl comes up out of nowhere, scares us, and at first we're like, "Wait, whose parents are hers?" And she was just there alone by herself. Then she says,
Number 2. This one is honestly terrifying, but at the same time, one of the greatest videos you'll watch on YouTube. Alan is a pranking and vlogging YouTuber who at the time was looking to do a prank in some sort of garage, and that's why they had a camera set up. They noticed a guy in the garage who looked to have some sort of gun, and when they approached him, the man was suicidal and kept telling Alan to keep on moving, obviously in hopes so that he could shoot himself. What Alan did next will most likely shock you. Instead of walking away, calling the police, or the other 100 options that could have been too late for the guy, he simply started talking to him. After a few minutes of talking to the guy, he gets him to put the gun down and prevents him from taking his life. Alan was in serious danger the entire time, as the guy could have easily killed him and then killed himself, but luckily Alan prevailed and it all turned out well in the end. I don't know if any of you watching know anyone struggling with mental issues, but just remember that suicide doesn't end the chances of life getting worse. Suicide prevents life from it getting any better.
I know I just met you. That might not sound like much to you, but if you kill yourself, you're taking a piece of everybody who knows you. I now know you. You're now part of my story. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So if you want to pull the trigger,
what's the littlest point gonna make a difference?
every inch helps. Every inch helps. And you think to yourself, what kind of person would put a gun to their head to prove a point to a man who is about to kill himself? This is a person that cares about you. You say you have no friends. I have no problem being your friend. None at all.
I don't need friends.
What do you need?
I just need to be gone.
Number 1. Abandoned asylums are pretty scary all by themselves, but things get even more terrifying when someone or something is in there with you. Explorers Steve and Josh decided to have a look around an unused mental hospital, and from the beginning they saw some really scary things. Someone had spray painted demons and satanic symbols all over the walls, and the baths where they used to keep patients secured were still lined up in one room. Things got even weirder though when the two guys split up. When Steve was explaining that the pink walls meant he was probably in the woman's ward, something walked through the shop behind him. Now it couldn't have been Josh, as he was in a completely different part of the building, and whatever it was seemed to look at the camera and hurry away. That's when you hear 2 loud bangs and both guys decide to call it a day. What's crazier though is the noises get louder as they're leaving, and there's never any sign of humans being in the hospital with them. So yeah, I hope you guys aren't watching this at night because rip you.
What the fuck? Guys, did you hear that? That was seriously like 2 loud bangs. I don't know what the fuck that was. Holy shit, I got on camera. Oh man.
Yo, what was that?
Dude, I don't fucking know, but I heard it down there. It was like 2 loud fucking bangs. You heard it too?
I heard that.
Dude.
I'm getting the fuck out.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I heard 2 loud bangs, heard the bangs. We don't know if it was somebody or anything, we don't know.
Because it's all pink and looks all feminine.
And there's our list of the top 5 scariest YouTuber videos part 2. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe so you see whenever we upload a video. Also, if you have your own top 5 or top 10 idea, feel free to use our Extremely Handy form in the description to submit it. With that said, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.